I love that whenever I create videos and I flow with what wants to be said, wants to be shared, then it creates a seed and a path for another flow. So this is what's happening right now. In talking about triggers, I was reminded of how when you actually sit with your triggers, I think there's a hummingbird outside my, right there. But so when you sit with your triggers, you are most likely going to feel, you will feel slowly but surely, like there's no sugarcoating that. And to live in society, live in to live in a fast-paced society like we have around the world in many countries, feelings become sort of a nuisance. They can slow us down. We're taught that, like, maybe outwardly or subtly, feelings are a nuisance, and that's what I believe too. Like, ugh, I don't want to fucking feel. I don't want to feel. I don't feel. But when you really sit with your triggers and get to their roots, there are feelings that you've avoided feeling. And it's kind of like, imagine an icicle around a flame, like somehow this feeling that's alive got like boxed in, and thinking of the Japanese word for it, but got frozen. Like the feeling itself isn't frozen, it's there and it's alive, but there's so much ice around this feeling that it becomes harder and harder to feel that, to get to that. But what you do when you sit with your triggers and, allow yourself to gradually feel more and to feel your feelings, the thoughts, and even the beliefs that come up, then you're melting this ice around that flame, ice around that feeling that's at the root of your trigger. And when you do this long enough, or even it can be like one big trigger that happens and you really allow yourself to sit with that. This can depend on the person and on the situation. But when you do that, you're gonna feel that flame, that emotion and the feeling again. And you're gonna cry, most likely. Or cry and get mad, cry and get sad, get depressed, whatever. Like, whatever the emotion is that wanted to be felt. Maybe even frustrated. And then, like, joy, whatever. Like, the feelings can take on different combination. Whatever it is that wants to be felt, you'll feel once again. And I think because it's easier to, you may have learned that it's easier to avoid these feelings, or that these feelings don't have a place in your life, or they're a nuisance. Whatever belief system you inherited or you created about these feelings that you suppress, that are at the base of your trigger, that are at the roots of your triggers, they're wanting to be felt again. And interestingly, when you allow yourself to feel these emotions that are at the root of your triggers, then they can have less of a triggering impact on you. Like, you can develop a healthier relationship with these feelings and these emotions. And they don't need to be triggers anymore. They can just become a part of your natural life. For example, sadness. Like, sadness was a trigger for me, a huge trigger for me, because I stuffed down sadness, and I didn't want to be sad. I didn't want to feel sadness. So whenever sadness got, like, something made me feel sad, then I would feel triggered and I would shut down. but then developing a new relationship with sadness where I'm like more connected to it, more allowing of it, accepting when it comes, and being more compassionate towards it. That's allowed me to not shut down when I feel sad or when sadness comes up. I can allow myself to voice that, hey, I'm actually feeling sad by this right now. Oh, like this is making me sad. This is making me like hopeless and sad. I couldn't do that. I thought it was bad to voice sadness, so I didn't. So my relationship with sadness went from one that was suppressing to allowing, and it being it having a seat in the table that is me. It's really important to feel when triggers come up. We think that it's actually easier to avoid feelings, but then actually that creates more issues. And if you're someone that, was in danger, like actual physical danger for feeling certain things and expressing them, like I'm not dismissing you or saying like you're wrong. We all have our different stories and different experiences and circumstances, so please don't feel like I'm dismissing you, but I'm just speaking from my own experience, that what I learned about feelings, or what I thought about feelings, which was that it's easier and more convenient to just avoid them, was actually not true. And it's actually easier, and like it makes life smoother when I do feel. Letting emotions control you, that's different. But like feeling feelings, like that is such an important part of life that I learned in recent years, like, oh, that's actually healthy, and it's actually an essential part of living my own life and experience life as myself. And suppressing, certain emotions that I deemed like wrong or that it's unsafe to feel, and getting to the root of like why I felt I wasn't safe and everything too. That was part of my journey, but it's actually safe to feel emotions now. At this, yeah. I didn't feel that way in my family environment, but now that I'm living by myself and out of the family system, yeah, I feel safer to feel. And at the same time, because I feel safer to feel again on my own, then I also feel more safe to feel around my family, like things that I didn't express or feel around and in my family. Now I can feel again. And so it feels like I feel more human wherever I am. Yeah, so this took a tangent that I wasn't expecting, but yeah, so here it is. I hope there was something useful for you on your journey of reconnecting to yourself and discovering your true self, true nature, and living your life. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to share them in the comments below.